Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we need to address the elephant in the room: Xbox games launching without features that were on previous games or missing features. So, we're talking about Forza Motorsport, and if anybody on the internet is qualified to talk about Forza Motorsport, it'd be me. I have thousands of hours in racing games because that is my number one genre of video games to play. Now, I've only been sim racing for the last couple of years, like the last 3, 4 years, like actually having like a full setup for sim racing. But when it comes to racing games, I've been playing these ever since the original like PlayStation came out and having a lot of fun with those. So I feel like when it comes to like the little ponies galloping down the road, being like, "Oh my guys, they're taking out features on the Xbox games," and we even have Xbox content creators kind of freaking out and talk about my buddy Doc Dark, and just kind of talk about like what like the unrealistic expectations that these guys seem to have for these racing games when most of them are probably not even going to play these games. But first of all, let's turn our attention right on over to Gran Turismo 7. Gran Turismo 7 was basically Gran Turismo Sport just upgraded a little bit and then pushed onto PlayStation 5 for another $70. They did bring VR support later down the road. So, I mean, technically that game wasn't finished, but they didn't really go out of their way to overhaul and rebuild the game from the ground up for PlayStation 5. Like when you look at Gran Turismo 7, you can see that that is still essentially a PlayStation 4 game. Actually, it is a PlayStation 4 game. It did launch on the PlayStation 4. So that is technically a PlayStation 4 game. This is a brand new Forza Motorsport built from the ground up for the new consoles. Now let's talk about the features that are going to be missing. Spectator mode. If any of the features missing from that, this would be by far the one that's most important for me. So when I jump into a hopper on Forza Motorsport for multiplayer racing, you get a chance to spectate the other drivers on the track. You can see how they're driving. You can kind of gauge, how they're going to react to other cars while you're racing, things like that. So that is very good at being able to get information on the type of drivers that are in the hopper that you're going to be into, and that makes sense. That makes sense for people to kind of be upset about that one. I'm not particularly happy about that feature not being there, but I play a lot of racing games, and there's a lot of racing games that I don't even use that feature in. So, for the most part, I think we can get over that one. To be completely honest, if it's something that just isn't possible right now, that's fine. I want Forza Motorsport 10 at launch. Like I wanted at launch. I've already got it pre-ordered. Already paid $100. The next feature that's not going to be in there is the AI during multiplayer racing. That one there is not that big of a deal, seeing as the AI, might not react 100% at launch. There's still probably more training. They'll probably have, they'll probably be utilizing our driver data, with the new physics model and all of that stuff to help, train the AI in there a little bit better. That's fine. I mean, Gran Turismo still doesn't even have Sophie in there yet. They just showed that. I don't know. I don't know if Sophie's fully activated yet or not, but it's one of those things, guys, where bringing in a rating model, a safety rating model, and stuff like that, it is challenging. There's a lot of games out there, a lot of racing games that have that feature, and it's challenging. Gran Turismo's still suffering with it. Assetto Corsa is still suffering with it. There's a lot of racing games out there that are trying to find that perfect balance, and putting one more thing into the mix that's just going to frustrate the drivers, to frustrate you, to make it harder for you to obtain a solid safety rating or driver rating or something like that. That right there, like I can understand them being like, "Hey man, we're not going to put this in there just yet. We're gonna take our time with this. We're gonna try to get it right. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't." It's one of those things where it's gonna be better overall when the game launches without it being there causing problems. So I'm okay with that one. And then last but not least, um, something that is literally not important. I kind of forgot what the third one was, so let me see what this one was again.
Mode is not in for much. Having players come into a featured multiplayer event and taking player slots
Kind of letting
has
you listen to
ideally
this a little bit.
significantly similarly, racing with AI and featured multiplayer, with all its potential impacts on your safety rating, also didn't make a whole lot of sense to
Yeah,
have
I mean that makes sense too. And then
And since the topic of some legacy features that aren't in at launch, our heavy investment in pushing our graphical features and our complete overhaul of the rendering engine, unfortunately made split screen really
oh,
difficult.
split screen. Split screen. Literally nobody cares about split screen for Forza Motorsport. I I don't know how you. I mean, like seriously, that's not even important. So I'm like, seriously, really, man. The things that people find to try to argue about things. Split screen is. I mean, seriously, you're gonna sit there and try to set in a sim racing game. You're trying to tell me that that's important to you. That there, like, if you're complaining about split screen, I would probably stop just because of the fact that this is. And I am gonna go to bat for. I am gonna go to bat for Turn 10. I am. This is an iteration of a sim racing title that they have put in more work into the physics, more work into the rendering, more work into all of that stuff to make this a true next gen experience. I'm okay with it not having split screen. I'm okay with that. And if you want to blame Xbox Series S for that, blame Xbox Series S all you want for that. But that is just a feature that I simply think we need to move away from when it comes to sim racing games. When you have a feature like that in a sim racing title, that means other things need to be dumbed down. I don't want them to dumb anything down for this game. I want this to be the pinnacle of what sim racing on console could be. For like triple A console sim racing. I want a triple A looking, feeling experience on my Xbox Series X and my Xbox Super Series X and my Xbox Series S. That's what I want. That's what I expect from Turn 10. Like I expect Forza Motorsport to be a polished game, to be good, to have good physics. I'm more concerned about the physics than I am anything else in the game. The second thing would be overall image quality and looking really good. Those are the two main things that really matter to me when it comes to Forza Motorsport. All the rest of the stuff is is like it works down, like pit crews, pit stops, all of that stuff. That's all. I mean, that's all like a given. That should be there. There's more things that are important about Forza Motorsport as a sim racing title than the features that they're kind of leaving on the table right now. Honestly, I kind of wish they would just come out and say, "Look, we just decided to move away from these features for the next iteration of Forza Motorsport," and that's fine too. That's fine too. Then you at least know what you're getting. But this fake outrage about Xbox games coming in incomplete or anything like that. This is a live service. This is the first time they've went live service with Forza Motorsport, meaning that this game will get content over the release cycle, over its release, which is far more important and far better than having to buy another Forza Motorsport in 2 more years. I would much rather it be a live service like the rest of them that I own than be another game that I got to keep buying another copy of because then I don't play the old ones after the new one comes out. So I'm much more happy with this being a live service game and therefore that gives them a little bit of leeway in not having features ready for launch. Now, we can go back and we can bang on and bang on and bang on. I know for a fact that I'm going to turn on Forza Motorsport and I'm going to play it. And those features that are missing are not going to bug me. And I'm going to enjoy this game and I'm going to have fun with it. Just like you are and just like everybody else that's going to play this. So anybody that's out there literally complaining about these missing features right now, I want to know if it really matters to you. I want to know I want to see your stats on your playing racing games. Like I want to see it. I want to see how much racing games actually matter to you before you start complaining about something that you probably don't even that you might not even play, that you probably don't even play, or put the time in to learn how to play, or invest the money into the equipment to play these games properly. That's what I'm saying, man. Like if you're gonna complain about something, at least make it genuine. At least be genuine about it, because not sitting here damage controlling Xbox, but I think the hate for Xbox is so extreme that you got to just kind of put people in their place every once in a while. You have to explain things, and you have to look at things from a different perspective, because there's a lot of sugarcoating everything that PlayStation does, and like going to town on Xbox for every little thing. At least they come out and say it, man. I mean, they could be like, yeah, they could have just not said anything and been like, oh yeah, sorry, 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 like EA and everybody else seems to do with all their games. But at least they're telling us. At least we're getting a heads up. So I'm not too worried about these features that are missing, just like I wasn't really too worried about the features that were missing with Halo. But I know there's that one person out there that really has to have split screen that's going to be sad about this, or there's that, those few people that enjoy spectator mode like I do. I know that one there might be a little bit rough at first, but I think we'll get used to it, and I think we'll be okay. And hopefully, if that's probably the one thing that I would really have the team focus on, is making that a possibility again, because everything else, um, like the AI thing, like I want that one to be more polished and ready when it comes to the game, but the split screen don't really care about. But for sure, the spectator mode, that is one thing that I would like to see come to the game as soon as possible after launch. That one is kind of important. And it's more of a like looking in and seeing how other drivers are doing. But I mean, like, you can go in blind too and be fine. Like it's not, it is a little bit trivial, but I mean, it is a really nice feature to have, but it is a little bit trivial if you ask me. So all right, my friends, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good night. It's just video games.